A scan of recent headlines kind of highlights the differences in kind of views and perspectives that exist across companies, employees, and other stakeholders around this topic of return to office. As these particular headlines capture from, over the summer, just up to a couple weeks ago, that, companies are really at very different mindsets around the kind of necessity and importance of return to the office. On the one hand, we see some companies really kind of pushing return to the office with the message that that's really important for getting work done and having a productive kind of organization and workforce. Whereas other organizations have more openly embraced the idea of remote work as really the kind of future of work. We see that among companies like Yelp, who have recently announced plans to close some of their offices due to this transition and more formal adoption of remote work. Certainly, we're seeing differences or divergent opinions among employees as well. We know that from a variety of different surveys and reports that there is significant variability across employees in terms of their desire around specific work arrangements. Certainly most surveys suggest that employees are looking for perhaps more flexibility than they had pre-pandemic, but at the same time, we know that there's workers that would prefer to be in the office more and others who would prefer to work from home more regularly. We're also seeing, as these headlines highlight, very different views around, who is remote work kind of benefiting or maybe hurting from a kind of productivity standpoint. We see kind of arguments around maybe hybrid work is going to have a disproportionate impact on marginalized groups, but on the other hand, it might also benefit workers who have certain kind of personalities or styles of working. And again, we see from some of these headlines some of the tension that exists between workers as well as employers in terms of acceptance of return to the office plans. And lastly, we're also seeing other stakeholders weigh into this. As these headlines highlight, we're seeing governments both at the national and more regional level weighing in on the importance of return to the office. We're seeing real estate interests obviously are concerned about what this is going to hold in terms of the real estate kind of footprints of organizations. And I had to include this last article from Vending Times that kind of highlights the remote work and these return to office plans might, even impact coffee service. So clearly there's a lot of different stakeholders. They're kind of involved in this debate around remote work. And I think what these headlines again show is really the divergence of opinions and perspectives that currently exist in this area.